Oh boy, fusions. When two Dragon Ball characters come together to create a brand new one. Whether that be by means of the Potara earrings, Metamoran Fusion, absorption, or whatever else, everyone has an opinion on which fusions are superior overall. It's been a fiery debate for decades, and to throw even more gas on the fire, I created a list of every single fusion in Dragon Ball and ranked them from S tier being the absolute best to F tier being the absolute worst. But before we jump into it, be sure to like and subscribe if you want more of these Dragon Ball tier list videos. This is gonna be fun. Let's get into it. We have a classic Goku and Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Start off with an easy S tier. I'm glad we got that one out of the way first, because that's an easy S tier. Throw that into S and we can move on. That's not even a debatable one. If you play him in Sparking Zero, I don't like you, but he's the GOAT, unfortunately. Xeno Gogeta with Goku and Vegeta. I actually like his design more, that he kind of has that like compression suit underneath, but I am going to open up a question right now. Which team are you on? Vegito or Gogeta? Who is your GOAT? You can only pick one of them, and I want you to tell me who you like more. This is the biggest debate when it comes to fusions. I'm talking any version of Gogeta or Vegito. Me, we'll get to that. I do like his design a little bit more. I throw that into S. I throw that into S for now. I like the design on that. Future Gohunks, Future Trunks, and Future Gohan in a fusion. That's an interesting one. I like this one a lot. The name is kind of silly though. I think that's actually a pretty interesting one if they ever did actually learn it. I throw that in A tier. Nappa and Raditz. This is the type of guy I would not want to be alone in an alleyway with, dude. You're gonna get shanked by this guy. Like, this is like, he just got off a 20-hour shift at his trucker job. That's a C tier. That's like kind of cursed. Failed. Okay, Tiencha is one of my favorite what-if fusions, but failed Tiencha, I'll throw it in B tier because it's a failed fusion, but Tiencha themselves? The fact that Tien and Yamcha get some love in a what-if scenario, this is from Budokai 2, they give him some love, and I really, really like that because it's a really cool design, and they did not have to give that to us. That's super sick. I love that. Piccolo and Krillin. That's a C tier, dude. That's cursed. That's kind of cursed. Ooh, Raccoon and Birder to make Recurder. What a stupid name, dude. They turned into Ice Spice, dude. Because it's Birder, I'll throw it into B tier. If Birder was not in the fusion, I would throw it lower. Golche, Guldo, and Jace. They are having a mid-off fusion. That's an F tier. Our first F tier. That is a full-on F. Unnamed fusion, Piccolo plus Mr. Mashirito. Who? Am I a fake fan for not knowing who that is? He's an evil scientist who is Senbai Norimaki's rival and the creator of Obacha Man. What? What does that mean? What does any of that mean? Oh, it's a Dr. Slump character. Okay, yeah, I'd still say C tier. Failed Fat Gotenks. Get his fat ass into F tier. All right, now we're moving on to the X-Ring Metamoran dances. Goku and Broly, Kakaroli. The fusion between Broly and Goku, I would throw that in A tier. It's a cool idea. It could happen. I never even thought about that. That actually could happen. I didn't even think about that. That could happen in Super. There's no reason why that couldn't happen. Now that I'm thinking about it, I want to see that. That's S tier. That's S tier. I want that to happen. Goku Black and Broly. That'd be like an A, B tier. Neutral to that, I feel like. Bardock and Kakarot for Barlocked. Him fusing with his dad is kind of like Goku fusing with Gohan, which was a cool idea, and we'll get to that in this tier list. But this one, I throw it in C tier. Goku and Vegeta, Gogeta EX. Does he have Saiyan armor on this one? I like that. I like that. That's A tier. For the Saiyan armor. That's why. I like the Saiyan armor. Goku and Gohan Kuhan. Because this is like my most wanted what-if fusion, because they technically were just about to, that's an S tier for me. I really, really wish that they actually did that. Kid Gohan and Kid Trunks. Gohanks, that's a C tier for me. I don't really like that. I also don't like that it's like half hair. That just doesn't look good. I think that Gotenks does it really well because it's on either side. That's creative. I like that. But it being like split and parted, I don't really like that. Android 16 and 17. Android... Is that really the name? It's not even like like the numbers plus each other. It's just Android 1617. Because of it being lazy, that's F tier. Androids 17 and 18. That could be kind of interesting. I think them having a fusion would actually make sense. So I kind of like that. I'll throw that in B tier. Failed Skinny Gotenks. I like more than fat Gotenks. The failed skinny version is more, for me, a funnier gag than them just being fat. Androids 19 and 20 fusing to create Android 1920. It's just lazy. Like, it's just lazy. I had a thing about the one that's right above him, right, where it was like the split hair down the middle. But this is kind of nice because I like that they have two different dome colors. Do you see that? They have two different dome colors. And as a matter of fact, I'll throw that in. I'll throw it in C tier. I'll bump it up because the design, it's cool. Nah, I'll throw it in B tier. I changed my mind again. I'll throw it in B tier. Go Tanks. When this first happened, I was super psyched about it because I didn't even, so I didn't read the Boo arc until like way later after I discovered Dragon Ball Z. I think I was like really young when I first got into it. I was like 4, and then I was like 8 or 9 when I read the Boo arc. So it was like years later. But finding out that this was a thing, I was psyched. I was like, dude, this is so sick. Easy S tier for Gotenks. Xeno Gotenks. I like the adult versions of Gotenks. We have not seen like a real version of it yet, but I hope that we do soon. I'll throw Xeno Gotenks into an S. He's also got the sword, which is really cool too. Like, I like that addition that like adult Trunks, he's got the sword, and you know, that carries over to their fusion. That's pretty sick. Goku and Vegeta, Viku. Fat failed Gogeta. Also, I'll throw that one into F. And then Skinny Veku. Like I said, I like the skinny gag more, and the skinny old gag is funnier than them being fat. Kid Buu absorbing Kibito Kai. I don't care about that fusion at all. That's an F tier for me. I also really hate Kibito Kai, and I'm so glad that Super undid their Potara fusion. I'm so glad they did that. Kid Buu, Babidi absorbed. Don't really mind that. It kind of makes sense if it happened, but I'd say it's like a C tier. It's not as bad. Xeno Kid Buu and Janemba absorbed. I don't like this, but I do like the idea of those two combining. I think that's a pretty good idea. Majin Buu, Videl absorbed. F tier. Super Buu Frieza absorbed. Cool idea, but it looks kind of cursed. I'm not gonna lie. The design doesn't really land, I don't think. I gotta be real. It's a C tier. Majin Buu Roshi absorbed. The design's kind of silly. I'll give it a B tier. That's because it looks silly. Majin Buu Krillin absorbed. That's like Cellin, basically. But we'll get to that as well. That's a downgrade in power. The C tier. Majin Buu Yamcha absorbed. Get him into F. Majin Buu Puar absorbed. Isn't that like Neko Majin, basically? Hold on. That kind of looks the same. I like that design. I'm throwing that an A. I like that design. Buff Buu. It's a really big Dragon Ball trope for the villain to get really big and bulky at some point in their fight in Dragon Ball Z. It happens with Frieza, it happens with Cell, and it happens with Buu. I don't really like it. I think it's just overplayed. I don't really like it that much. I've got to be real. Buff Buu, I'll throw into C tier. It's not like I hate it, but still, I'll throw it into C tier. Super Buu, regular Super Buu, actual menace. That's an A tier. Super Buu Piccolo absorbed. I like the cape. I'm neutral to that one. Gotenks absorbed. That's a B tier. Gohan absorbed, my goat. Buhan, actual goat. I love Buhan. I wish he had more screen time. Super Buu Cell absorbed. Same thing with like the Frieza thing. It doesn't really land, and that's a C tier. Like the design, I understand what you're going for, and I'm seeing the vision, but I'm also not really seeing the vision at the same time. Tien absorbed. Same thing. It's just him he just has the Tien clothes on. It's like a C tier for me. Super Buu Omega Shenron absorbed. A lot of these, like, I get what you're going for, but they just, like, the designs just don't really land. I feel like there's better ways that they could have been portrayed, and I think that's a C tier for me. Oh my goodness, we get to my goat. Out of every fusion of every character ever, Goku is easily my favorite. It's a sick design. It's a super cool design. And for me, it'll always be S tier. That is my favorite What If fusion, my favorite fusion of all time. And I really hope that they add it to Sparking Zero or really any future Dragon Ball game. I hope that they do eventually. Alternate Goku, when you compare these two side by side, flirting versus sexual harassment. Like, this is a full S tier, but his alt design, nah, it's F. That alt design is terrifying. It's actually terrifying. Denku. I'm not mad at it, but I throw it in C tier. It just looks super goofy. Cell and Frieza for Celluza. I actually think that's a sick design. That's like almost like Janemba. I really like that. I'll throw that into A. That's pretty sick. I like that a lot. Cell and Android 17. Cell 17. No. C tier. Frieza and Cooler for Cooliza. It's a B tier. I like that design. I throw that in A. I like that design. Pan and Bulla for Bullpan. Bulla isn't even really a fighter, and Pan, I don't know. I'm indifferent to that for myself. I've got to be real. I'd say it's C tier for me. Aurelia and Android 18. That would be sick, because they're both technically androids. That's a sick idea. I think that would be really cool. That's an A tier. Tien and Chaozu. Chiao Han. Where did the Han come from? That's a C tier. Chaozu and Cyberman. F tier. Chaozu and Guldo. Hyper mid fusion, dude. F tier. Jace and Birder. Jace and Birder, and they don't turn purple. They have a move together called Purple Comet Attack because they're blue and red. Why is that? Why are they not? Missed opportunity. Because of that, C tier. Debora and Mira. C tier again. Debora and King Piccolo. Demon King Dactylo. Oh, wait. 2 Demon Kings fusing? Wait a minute. That's not a bad idea. I like that idea. I like the idea. I'll put it in B tier. Dodoria and Zarvon. That is like the actually bottom of the barrel so far. That is so cursed. Krillin and Piccolo. Krillin EX. The design is a little bit better. I kind of like that more. I'll throw that in B tier. Tien and Yamcha. Yamhan. Nah, you ain't no Tiencha. Get out of my face. That's a C tier. Kid Trunks and Future Trunks to make Trunks. F tier. Oh, I wonder what this crazy fusion's gonna be called. Vegeta and Future Trunks V-Janks. I think this design sucks compared to the other ones that we're gonna see, but this is a C tier for me. Great Saiyaman and Ginyu. Ginyu Man? If any 2 characters were to fuse, this out of the entire list is probably like top 5 that makes sense. I'll throw that in A tier. Both of those characters are always posing up a storm. I will give that an A tier. Ginyu and Frieza. Ginyuza. Something on your mind or? It's a C tier. Kid Goku and Zamasu for Gomasu. Interesting. I'll throw that in B tier. I'm not mad at that. That's probably what base fused Zamasu looks like. Kid Goku and Krillin. Gorillin. Gorillin. I'll throw it in B tier. Kid Goku and Beerus. Goris. It's not a fusion that I want to see, and that design feels a little lazy, but now I'll throw it in C. I can't even defend it. It just feels lazy. Gohan and Jocko. I would say this is F tier. Saiyaman Fusion isn't great, I feel like, with that one. Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. I like that design. I like that it's going full Power Ranger. I'll throw that in B tier. Great Saiyaman and Hercule. Great Hercule Man. If he was like a superhero-esque character, it would make sense, but I don't like that fusion. I'd say C tier. Majin Buu and Janemba. Janembu. This design sucks compared to the other one that we were talking about before. It's not the worst thing in the world, though, so I'll throw it in B. Jocko and Trunks. Jockunks. The C tier. Piccolo and Teen Gohan. That's so cursed. That's F tier. Beerus and Kibito Kai. That's kind of an interesting one, considering that the Supreme Kai and Beerus only exist when, like, with one another. So that's interesting, but it's not a fusion that I want to see, but I'd throw it in B tier. Krillin and Kid Gohan. Why does he have a nipple on his head? What is that? What is that? They got a little Hershey's Kiss. The elusive acorn. This doesn't even make sense. Majin Buu and Hercule. Majin Hercule. I like that. I like that. I like that. I'll put it in B tier. It's not my favorite, but I like that. Nova Shenron and Goku for Nova Goku. That is a Digimon. That's F tier. Pan and Videl. Pandel. It's cute, but it looks weird. Like, it just looks weird. I don't know. It looks really weird. I throw that in C tier. Perfect Cell and Android 16. That is like a Xenoverse OC. A lot of these from fusions look like just straight up Xenoverse OCs that people have made themselves. But these are actual fusions from Dragon Ball Fusions. Throw that in F tier. That looks bad. That does not look good to me. Piccolo and Pycon. That's a sick fusion. That's actually sick. I like that one. That's A tier. Picohan. Where's the Han coming from? That's what I keep wondering. Pinich and Vegeta for Pinata. C tier. Pinich and Tekka. That design is cool. It's kind of like Gotenks a little bit. I kind of like the gi. I'll throw that up in B tier. Raditz and Nappa. Rappa. Hey Vegeta, I'm gonna throw down some sick beats right now. I can't be mad at it. I'll throw it in B tier. Raccoon and Guldo. I absolutely can be mad at that one. That's F tier. Tapion and Future Trunks. Tanks is the name. That's crazy. That's a C tier. I don't like the crazy up hair. Even though that is the hair that Tapion has, I feel like in a fusion, it looks weird. Toa and Aurelie. I like that. That's a B tier. Toa and Gine. Oh shit, Gine has a fusion in this? That's crazy. I kind of like that one as well. Put it in B tier. Turles and Raditz. I'd throw that into B tier as well. That also, I like that as well. Whis and Beerus for Weirus. This actually works super well. This works super well. I'll throw that into A. That works really well. I like that. Yamcha and Vegeta for Yamta. That's cursed. Ultra Pinch. The pinch. I am ranking my hog to Ultra Pinch. This looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. That's what this looks like. It doesn't look like a Dragon Ball character. This looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm putting that in C tier. Male Saiyan Ultra Fusion. Probably put that in B tier. Female Saiyan Ultra Fusion. Are these Xenoverse? What are these? This is still Dragon Ball Fusions? The main character. I would say like the male Ultra Saiyan Fusion is decent. I kind of like that. But the rest of these, they're all right. I'm okay with them. I'll put these all in C. Old Kai. Technically, I don't think Old Kai is a fusion of any other character. Am I wrong on that? I don't think he is. Kai and oh, that's right. Holy hell, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. That's insane. That's F tier. Kibito Kai. I hate Kibito Kai. I think this is such an ugly design. Such an ugly design. That's F tier for me. I think Kibito Kai sucks. Here we go, baby. We have now reached Gogeta and Vegito. I asked earlier which one you guys thought was better. Gogeta, for me, is not as superior as Vegito. Vegito, for me, will always be the #1 fusion for Goku and Vegeta. When I was like 8 years old, there was like no one at my school who knew what Dragon Ball was. I had one friend. So one day he brings me the final volume of Dragon Ball Z. In that volume, they fuse into Vegito, and there's that panel where they're like, you know, we're ready to go. And I was like, yo. And on top of that, that's like the final volume where they kill Boo, and that's where the Boo arc ends, and it shows end of Z. And for me, that was super nostalgic. I returned that book to my friend, but when I did, he was like, no, you can keep it. And for me, that memory of like opening that, seeing the fusion, I don't think anything will take that away. I will never forget that. So for me, Vegito is my S tier, for sure. S tier. Gogeta for me is not on the same tier. Vegito and his talking shit and him, you know, taking his time and, you know, waving his hands around and being super cocky, it'll always be S tier for me. I have to throw both forms of Gogeta into A tier. That's my personal bias, but that's also the beauty of tier lists, is that my opinion is not just yours. So keep that in mind. Please tell me if I'm wrong. That's it. Tell me if I'm wrong. Xeno Vegito. I don't like this design. So I just went on a whole rant about how much I like Vegito. I think the design is not as good in this one. I think the reverse gi is so much better, but I'll put this in A. Gokhan. This, like I said before, the fusion between Goku and Gohan is something that I really wanted to see. I'll put that in S tier. Fused Zamasu. It's S. That design is so badass. I think Fused Zamasu is such a good design. It looks so good. Kefla. Caulifla, a baddie. Kale, not as much. Them combining, Caulifla gets nerfed. You hate to see it. I also hate fighting Kefla in Sparking Zero. So I'll throw Kefla into high B tier. Dark Gogeta. Gogeta, but edgy. C tier. Super Mira Fin Absorbed. From Adventure Time? This is C tier. Mira Final Form. C tier. These are Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Dude, that's I gotta be so real. Core Cooler. This is straight up just Cooler fused with the big Getty star. I don't like this design that much. I've got to be real. It's a C tier as well. Copy Vegeta. He's voiced by the guy from the Ocean dub. He's not technically like a full fusion. I guess he is. I'll throw him in B tier. Hyper Metal Rildo. That is straight up a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Look at this. I made this in 2 seconds. If you saw this, you know, you're opening some, you know, Eyes of the Blue Eyes Yu-Gi-Oh packs, and you open this bitch, would you bat an eye? No! I'd be like, oh, okay, that's a cool design, and throw it in the fucking common pile that I have. I know it's from GT, right? Like, I understand. I don't know. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. I'll throw that in B tier. I like his big drill, and I also like General Rildo as a character, so I'll put him in B tier. Omega Shenron. Badass design. I think Omega Shenron has one of the best designs out of, like, any Dragon Ball villain. Second form, Arms. What even is that? What? Is that meant to be Cell and Frieza? I like the concept of this character, but I don't love this first form. That first form is F. The design for third form, not bad. I don't mind that. I'd throw that in B tier. Fused Sealash. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh! That's a C tier, I'd say. C tier. Time Power Unleashed Meki Kabura. I don't even really know what that is, if I'm keeping it a buck with you. I would throw this into B tier for design. Semi-Perfect Cell. I hate that he doesn't have like a nose. I don't really like his face. Perfect Cell, my beautiful goat. Go in A tier. Cellin. Cellin is from Budokai 1. It's from a What If. It's while Cell is waiting for the tournament to start. He has a nightmare that he absorbs Krillin instead of Android 18, and he becomes weaker because of it. It's really, really, really dumb, really stupid, but I love the design a lot, and I'll throw it into A tier. I love Cellin. Super 17. I will throw him into high B tier. I think him being fused with another Android 17, it's not my favorite thing in the world, I gotta be real. It's not like, I don't know, it's interesting, I guess, but I don't know, the premise doesn't totally do it for me. I gotta be real. Super 17, 16 plus 19 absorbed. I'd throw that into C tier. Same thing as every other bulky design that I've talked about. I don't really like it that much. Super 17, Cell absorbed. I like that him absorbing Cell just makes his clothes green. That's a C tier. Super 17, Android 18 absorbed. See, this design actually is really interesting. We were talking about that before because there was one that was the exact same. This design is much better. I actually will throw that into A tier. Super Android 13. I had the toy of this growing up. I would say I don't like that he just becomes blue. He's kind of ugly. I've got to be so real with you. He's really ugly. He's also just got Vegeta's hair. Given the other two androids that he absorbs, just didn't really make sense to me. I've got to be really honest with you. Just kind of ass. I've got to be real. So I'll throw that into C tier. Super Mega Cannon Sigma. Okay, somebody's with me, dude. This is from GT. That is another Yu-Gi-Oh design. C tier. Koisereta. I don't really love this one either. As far as design goes, I'd say C tier. Analyza. I love this design. I think this is a super cool idea. I like the way that he looks a lot. I'm gonna throw him in A tier. I like this design. Shen, Kami-controlled fighter. I'm neutral to this one. I like this one because of the lore behind it. I think that's interesting. Baby Vegeta. Design-wise, that's A tier. That's one of the most badass designs to come out of GT. I love that design. Baby Vegeta Form 1, that's a C tier, dude. Get that shit off. Baby Vegeta Form 2, that's also an A tier. As far as design goes, as far as these two go, I like these a lot. Baby Vegeta Uzaru, F tier. Get that out of my face. Baby controlled Trunks. I don't like those shoulder things, dude. Those shoulder things are just kind of ugly. I do like the idea, him being controlled by Baby, all of that stuff. That's cool. It's a cool idea. Baby Goten, not really an entire design change. He just becomes evil. So like I'm neutral to that because we're not really judging based on anything more than them just being possessed as who they are. It's interesting when it happens, but it's not anything crazy. So I'll throw those in B tier. Baby Harudagon. Wait, this is like Baby controlling them? F tier. What is that even from? Baby Hachiak? A C tier, I guess. At least this guy, he got a different coloration. Orin Caulifla. I like the white hair. So it's a C tier. Common Kale. I'd throw that into probably also B tier. Mind controlled Barry Khan. That's like a C tier for me. Janemba. Janemba has one of the coolest designs in all of Dragon Ball. For sure, dude. It's simple, and the color design is simple, and it's a sleek design. It's so sick. Piccolo and Nail powered up Piccolo. Yes, 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 yes! I can win! I feel great! I can do this! I'd throw it in a B tier. It's a pretty neutral one as well. He doesn't really change all that much. Piccolo and Kami, I'd say is also the same thing. It's a B tier as well. 5 Namekians to turn into the Super Namekian. It's like a C tier fusion for me. It's very forgettable. Pilina and many Namekians powered up Pilina. I'd say that's another B tier. It's like alongside Piccolo. The Namekian fusions don't really do a whole lot for me. Oob and Boo for Majub. This I like a lot because it's full circle. Oob and Boo, who Goku was like, you know, I hope you come back someday as a better person, and Oob comes back while regular Boo is still there. It makes sense that they fuse to make a stronger warrior. It makes total sense. So I would say that's an A tier for me. I think Majub, for me, made a whole lot of sense, but he doesn't get to do a lot, which sucks. I wish that he got to do more. Abo and Kado to make ongakuu. This is from Son Goku and Friends Return. Very forgettable fusion. I'd throw this one in probably like C tier. Many Cybermen to make the Cyber King. The King of Mid. That design, actually, looking at that, that's kind of cool. Like, you know what? I'll throw that into B tier. I'll throw that into B tier because the design is kind of cool. Kind of looks like Ginyu almost. Kamen and Orin to make Kami Orin. I like the design, but that is literally, hold on. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh that looks just like that. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd throw that into like, I like the design though. Like I'm just messing around. I'm just messing around. You know what I mean? I'm messing around. I'm pretty happy with this list. That is every fusion in Dragon Ball ever. Let me know if I missed any of them. Let me know if you think differently. You probably do. Be sure to subscribe and be sure to like. And also, we do these recordings live on Twitch, so come follow. You never know. You might influence or sway my decision whenever I make one of these. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next tier list. Forgot Shallot? Wait, that's sick. That would be up there with, that'd be A tier. The end.